It's the Rapid Capture Podcast.
Welcome to the Rapid Capture Podcast, episode 13, with me, Ty, aka Ty Kicks, and Alex Harvey, aka Alex Tench, and the Photogrammetry Man on YouTube
and
TikTok. And we've got Nikita in the building again. He is our man behind the camera. Last time was about 2 weeks ago, wasn't it, that we did a podcast?
yeah, episode 13 was the last one.
No, this is episode 13.
Sorry, episode 12.
Episode 12 was the last one. So, yeah, Alex is not with us because he's not in the real world. He's living his life through cameras.
I'm fully in the world, but yeah, I should put my AirPods in, then I could just augment sound and visuals.
Downside is there's too much latency with AirPods still, which sucks. But anyway, we'll get onto that when we get into the XR news about the thing that's on your head. So, yeah, it's just been over 2 weeks since we last did a podcast, and basically what's been happening is that Alex has been out adventuring as he normally does. Don't see him much, so he's been populating his TikTok with all his activities and adventures. If we're kind of talking about recent times, we recently visited Northamptonshire to go and shoot some 3D 180 content for Northampton Council using the Canon dual fisheye lens and the R5C. Alex also came along to do some scanning as well for the day. So, how was your day yesterday?
Well, we went to, Northampton University, and we're doing this project with Northampton Uni where we're going to do a demo, and I'm going to take this off.
Yeah.
I definitely can't concentrate as much as I normally would and look at your beautiful face
Thank you.
With that
Thank
on.
you.
But that was the first time that I've had that on. Northampton Uni. We look on the screen at the moment, we can see the 3D church from Northampton. We're basically going to do a demo there, and the plan is to get our River Link kits into lots of libraries and schools so that we can have like a careers in a box. I want to show people what it's like to work in different industries by filming different industries and then showing them in VR, and then having the libraries act as like hubs for the local schools to pop in, like a drop-in centre for a careers drop-in box. But also, we like to do a little bit of a wow. So I flew the drone while Ty was shooting 3D 180, and I did 400 photos of the church. We've just sent it off for a little bit of cleanup. We're going to 3D print this and take it with us on the day, so the local councillors and mayor and people can have a copy of the church put onto their desks. Just a nice to have. We put a River logo on the bottom of it as well.
Alex has missed something really important that we were told by the vicar.
Wait.
It's not there. It's
What?
not there.
What's
oh my
not?
God. The 20 karat gold cross that's on the top of the dome
You
didn't
mean
scan.
My photogrammetry did not quite scan it.
Oh, anyway, overall the scan looks pretty good for something that hasn't been cleaned up anyway. So
Can I just say that window has got the wrong aspect ratio? I
Yeah.
said the joke on the day, but let's do it again. That looks like it's been squashed 16:9 to something weird.
I suppose the issue is you've got lots of little round stained glass windows below it that then sets it off, isn't it?
You
With
know
your
that it's-
triggers your tryptophobia or whatever the hell the phobia is.
I've got a thing about aspect ratio being wrong, and that church is obviously correct, the dial, the clock, but that is definitely wrong.
We've also got a little teaser of the 3D 180 content that we shot as well.
Okay, we'll go to that in a minute. But
Yeah.
talking of teasers, this is what happened inside the church when Ty was filming 3D 180. We're having the vicar do a voiceover and talk about the town and the community and history, but also about how technology is converging at the moment, and it was really cool to get him into the Quest Pro. What was he watching inside the headset?
He was watching the Royal Ballet stuff that we've done, which is pretty
Birmingham
amazing.
Royal Ballet.
Yeah,
Okay, so he was watching Nutcracker and Swan Lake and behind the scenes
yeah.
that the guys have been working on here, and he was pretty amazed. So I obviously took the opportunity to take a few social media photos. He was looking at his hands through pass-through for the first time ever. It was really cool, and that we put that everywhere over the internet. But you say there's a video that I can check on the River channel.
The stuff that I was shooting very much was orientated around trying to capture the environments around Northampton. You know, you got the library, some of the new buildings from the uni. You've got some of the historic buildings as well, all in 3D 180, 8K, full resolution for watching in a headset, getting
What
that 3D
camera was that
experience.
on?
That was on the R5. Actually, the R5, not the R5C, and we use a dual fisheye lens. You can't see it in 3D, but you can move around with a cursor, or if you're on your phone, you can move your phone around. And this is the type of content that will make you feel very much like you're there. If you've not experienced 3D 180 content, it is stunning. I think, you've got to be really delicate, as Alex likes to say all the time, but having someone stood in front of you, talking to you, feeding you information. I don't know. It seems like there's I think we get every member of the River team in this video, if I'm brutally honest. You got Alex walking into a building that's, I think, freshly been renovated. I think it's pretty new in Northampton town in the UK. And then we kind of start moving around and heading our way to the church to meet the vicar, to kind of give him some experience of what it's like to try.
The reason we've got people in the shots is because 3D 180, we don't like to move the camera too much, but it's nice to have movement in the shot. So movement in the shot can be people or cars. Oh, there's a Tyrone. It just gives people something to look at whilst they're having the narration into their ears and amazing visuals. But it's 3D 180, so you don't get to look behind you in this. It's just stunning graphics forward.
But it is to show you that it's video. That it is video. It's not photo. And to give you that feeling that you are there. I think the minute that you see a photo, unfortunately, say it might be fine if there's nothing going on, like absolutely nothing going on.
Great shot.
But if there's something going on, you definitely want to be able to sort of feel like there's some movement going on.
Worship 350 years ago.
Yeah, so this is on the TV. We've got the priest.
That's good. So this looks great in a headset.
Yeah.
He looks like he's just the right amount of distance in front of the camera. He's going to pop nicely. Tell us about this shot.
Oh, so if you are familiar with the Canon system, movement is difficult, very difficult. It's got to be really, really slow, really delicate. You can't do too much movement in it. And anything handheld would just exaggerate once you put it on your head. Like tiny bit of movement that you would get in a headset is twice as much as what you think it would be on a flat screen. So it's just not a fun experience. But recently they've just updated their stitching software to allow stabilization. So it's a bit of a game changer for a bit of handheld, but it is still not going to be like a GoPro's stabilization. You're not going to be able to throw it all around and it'll make it completely level and everything. So there's some limitations where you've still got to be a bit careful with it. Not too quick, not too crazy and erratic. So yeah, I've been using that, and I need to get the feedback from people to see what they think about that kind of shot.
I didn't get to that shot, but I'm going to have a look at that in a headset shortly and see what I think. But I think it looks quite steady. It looks like it looks good.
Anyway, so let's move on from our adventures from yesterday, and we're actually going to switch it up this week, and we're going to move straight into the XR news instead of our little hot takes from the last few weeks. And the first thing is Quest 3 launched on the 10th of October. It didn't launch on the 10th of August, as Mark Zuckerberg said on his keynote, which is hilarious, and no one corrected him, and I don't think anybody would. But yeah, Alex is having his first epiphanies about what he can do with it today.
It's the first time
Is this the first time you've ever held it?
Ever held it, ever tried it on.
This is the wildest thing ever. 7 days after it launched, you've never seen it. This shows Alex's desire for VR as his kind of in a different mindset at the moment. He's all about scanning with drones and not VR headset news. He'd normally go out straight away, day one, go get one.
Well, I wanted to do it on the podcast so that I could have a live reaction. Otherwise, it's a bit fake. I'm still amazed by pulling this past this little tablet screen. I'm in mixed reality. I can see through the environment. I can see my laptop, and I don't need these controllers anymore.
And you can see your laptop screen, and you can see text.
My laptop screen, but I would say it is harder. The text that's on the screen at the moment, I definitely can't read that as much. I can like that.
But you can read your phone, but it's a bit of a wobbly mess.
Yeah, I can read my phone. I can open my phone. Well, I have to put the passcode in. But yeah, I can just do a post and stuff. It works okay.
And if you didn't know, we do post some early shorts. So if you get an opportunity to see them on socials, go and give them a watch and a like, and tease yourself ready for the full version of the podcast.
God, yeah, I'm really impressed. Oh no, I'm not impressed at the moment.
What about the new controllers? I know you're doing all hand stuff, but what do you think to not having rings? I know that it's very similar to the Quest Pro's ones, but it doesn't have the camera tracking. It's not a rechargeable battery scenario. It's just one battery in it. But what's it like?
I feel like instant feedback is I don't. Well, they will be nice. I'll get used to it. I'll probably put the straps on, but I used to balance them on my fingers when I'm not using them.
With the rings.
They used to use the ring as a little holder.
Maybe you need those things, that you can put onto them that give you some straps around your hands. Then you can still hold onto them.
Just use these straps probably, and so they hang down.
But you can buy things that are for the old controllers that go over the ends of the handles, and it gives you like a strap that goes over your fingers. So you can keep them into your hands. It kind of was adopted from Valve Index kind of thing. But yeah, the one thing that I think will be better for me over the Quest Pro was, even though they said that it had the cameras on them and everything like that, I felt like the tracking on my headset was poor, really poor. Didn't like them. Not a fan of the Quest Pro controllers. Pro controllers were heavy and battery died on them all the time, and I would rather just chuck in an AA battery into one and start cracking on again straight away without having to recharge.
So what happens with this headset now? Is this one still legit?
So that goes on to the next thing in the XR news, which is that we can go on to the link that's on there, which is Quest 3 Lite Rumors are now spreading, talking about next year, basically launching what is basically a Quest 2.
Oh my God.
So it's a Quest 2 in the sense of no mixed reality. So it won't have mixed reality, but it will have the pancake lenses, the new chipset, and with that, maybe the end of the Quest Pro, because the lineup will probably change. They'll get rid of Quest 2, they'll keep Quest 3, and they'll have a Quest 3 Lite. Do you know what I mean? So Quest 3 Lite will be the VR headset instead of Quest 2 and Quest Pro.
Yeah.
And then the Quest 3 will be the high-end,
like a one that has the big
mixed
gap
reality
here.
And everything kind of headset.
Because they're going to get rid of this big gap.
No, I don't think they're going to do. I don't think they're going to do it as like an AR kind of headset. I don't think they're going to do it without an interface. I think they've given up on that no interface thing. Because you would think like that's got pass through, but you can't take the interface out of it, otherwise it won't sit on your face very well with that strap.
Okay, so the first thing is with this one, it seems to not do.
I've turned hand tracking off.
Okay,
so that's the.
Would it be as seamless as the other one?
Yeah.
The pass through is bad on this compared to that.
I know. So
I can
noisy,
still see you,
so
yeah.
noisy, and anything bright is really overexposed.
Noisy, grainy, and oh my God, I cannot read my phone.
No, it's
okay, so
bright.
that's the massive difference between that and this.
Yeah.
The pass-through improvement in this is amazing.
And also, just as a judge of the two as well, is that was, as far as I'm concerned, black and white pass-through with colour overlay. Whereas that's not.
Yeah.
That is full colour
I
pass-through.
can see black and white on my fingers and colour.
Yeah, because I've had moments where I've turned that on and it's been black and white. That shows how buggy sometimes it was. So, yeah, that's
okay. That's good to see the improvement though from that to that.
But isn't it mad how quickly in a year? And I think that the biggest fail, I think, with the Quest Pro, in my opinion, is that they should have waited another year. They should have waited another year
to release the black one.
That should have been this year with a depth sensor like Quest 3. That could have had the eye tracking, face tracking, and the new gen processor, and the new pass through. And then that could have been the Pro model, and that could have been the non-Pro model.
They're probably trying to beat other
I think
people.
it's just a fail. Like they put this out early doors to everyone, as in Quest 3, to combat Apple Vision Pro's launch, to get everyone ready. But you think it took them less than a year to make better pass-through, probably because they hadn't got high yields of the chips. That's the only thing. But they should have just delayed Project Cambria. That's my opinion anyway.
That's the difference with the stuff inside these headsets. You've got a load of stuff off the shelf inside both of these, whereas Apple are just making their own stuff.
Yeah. See, I would just admit defeat and say we're going to revamp the Quest Pro and just stick the Quest 3's innards in it.
You can speak to them again on your next little trip.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, we've just gone from the meta rumours of a cheaper sort of Quest 3 Lite. There were talk not too long ago that this cheaper version of a Vision Pro headset or Vision headset was canned and cancelled. But the reality is that I actually think that it's not going to disappear. If they can get traction and people buying into it, why wouldn't they want to try and make... It's almost like iPhone versus iPod Touch. They always made a lower end version of,
but they
of
haven't
all
even
their
released
stuff.
the first one yet.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying they're not... You know when people kind of turn around and say, oh, they've canned that project. It's like, I don't believe that they've canned the idea that they're going to make a sort of a cheaper version. It's just they're not going to focus on it. They need to see how well this does first.
It's similar though, because they've gone a little bit like Meta. It sounds like with this Quest Pro, and then making the normal Quest 3. And it looks like they might be doing the same thing. But the main difference is that this pass-through thing on the front.
Yeah, so they
where the Vision doesn't have that.
Utilizing, the chipsets that are in the iPhones as opposed to using like the M2, M3s, M4s and going on to the future. This is M2. And then the other chip that's in it, is it called R chip or something like that?
Also the main Vision is the screen bit. The main
and then losing that front screen. Although I do and I don't get it, because it kind of is one of those things where isn't the point of why they put the screen on the front to go, this is the best we can do for
privacy,
eye contact and having collaboration as opposed to being an isolating experience.
Yeah, but if everyone's wearing this headset, then they could just have this version, because I'll be able to see you anyway. If we're both in VR, I can see your face. Maybe this headset with the eyes was only for people that are not wearing the headset.
Yeah. So like what you were doing a minute ago, you felt a little bit off put by speaking to me without a headset on, with that headset on.
But if we had the
maybe if you have if you're collaborating with other people in headsets,
like Zuckerberg did with Max Friedman,
we
should definitely talk about that, because that was stunningly amazing.
That is good. That was good. Yeah, that wasn't that long after MetaConnect actually that they did that, and that was pretty cool.
They've just blown out FaceTime with that.
Obviously, we saw that those two headsets were full-blown powered by PC. They had tethers coming off them.
Yeah.
And so to be able to render, and if you can find the video, it'd be good just for people who are watching the podcast. But, what we saw in these demos were two people, one being Mark Zuckerberg and the other one being, Max Friedman. And they're talking to each other as digital versions of themselves, but the fidelity and the quality and the photorealism of each of them was mega, like absolutely incredible.
It was stunning. Like that, people need to understand what they're looking at on the screen probably more, because when you first see it, you don't understand what's happening. But they've both got VR headsets on, so their eyes are covered, and they haven't got any Vision Pro pass-through thing with a camera on the front.
No.
But they can still have full eye contact. And the reason they can do this is because they've 3D scanned their heads, and their mouth tracking and eye tracking is all built into the headset. And they're using this headset, the Quest Pro headset. Yeah. And Max was absolutely stunned by the whole thing. You should watch the interview. He's blown away, and they've even got all the blemishes on his head. God, I thought my hand was passed through then.
It's the way that he's blinking. It's the way that they're blinking, and like the little movements and creases in their face, and like actually like even just the little subtle little like rocks he's doing like as he moves and stuff. It's just crazy. It's like, to be honest, this
was different.
This looks a bit dumbed down, tiny bit dumbed down compared to the head and sort of like upper shoulder version.
This bit's done differently because this is not the interview.
But that's still a digital version, and it's obviously got to render his entire body. But when it comes to this interview, it's only from the shoulders, and it's rendering nothing around them. So all that power must be going into them. So as much as it's great, it still looks a bit dystopian. You've got two floating shoulders and heads. They're incredible and how they look, but still, they've still a bit dodgy.
Definitely stole
the
something.
There.
Yeah, the lighting's cool. They've definitely stole something from Apple here, though, by doing this first. Because now FaceTime, when Apple do FaceTime, it's not going to be as amazing because people have seen this.
I will say though that considering how long Apple have given themselves for launch, that it gives them time to try and improve what it looks like.
Maybe they can have four people.
It would not surprise me if they have something that looks a lot better but it's like it looks a bit creepy. It's not quite Canny Valley kind of thing. Uncanny Valley thing. So this actually looks really, really, really good. So,
I think it's
just his neck. Max Friedman's neck goes a bit funny, but
you could see that through the last sort of 3 or 4 years of Connect that Facebook and Meta were going to do something like this, because they were building eye tracking in, they were building cameras in to look at your mouth. And they were showing I forget the name, the guy at the end of the Apple talks that does his not John Carmack. There's another technology guy that went really deep every year talking about how far they'd progressed. You knew that something like this was coming.
Joss. Maybe Joss?
The glasses guy, I can't remember his name.
Maybe, I don't know, but not Tim Cook.
No. No. But you're going. You're going to go away. You need to go and speak to Meta and get some more chats with them because we've had some dealings with them. But let's have some more, Meta.
Yeah,
to work more together.
Hopefully, go and have a bit more chat. I did drop an email over recently to some of our contacts, so we'll see whether they get back to me anytime soon. And then the last bit of XR news, which I just plucked out of thin air because I know that Alex likes GTA or used to like GTA.
I saw something about that this morning.
Meta did announce like 2 years ago, Mark Zuckerberg in like the Meta Connect that GTA San Andreas was coming to VR. Well, that was 2 years ago.
Oh, San Andreas! I heard something today about GTA 6.
Yeah, but that's not going to be a VR game. But this was supposed to be coming to VR. But considering obviously all the people that had done hacks to play GTA in VR,
that was amazing.
Giving them an official title would have been really, really good. But unfortunately, to say it's still nowhere to be seen. So like with a lot of things that seem to be announced by these companies, and then it just doesn't ever happen.
Did you play GTA 5 in VR?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Did you shoot anyone?
I did.
VR?
Initially,
did you fly a plane?
The car thing made me feel a bit sicky to start with, but I got used to it. So.
I played it in my garage about 2 years ago, probably religiously every night for about 6 months. I used to film and stream I was blown away by flying helicopters. Someone basically made a hack, like a mod for the PC where you could play GTA 5, put a VR headset on. It absolutely twisted my brain and I loved it so much. I can't believe how they're not doing a VR one. Although you could say that it could be quite dangerous for kids. It would be horrific if they're just walking around and shooting people in the face all the time.
Maybe.
Really bad.
I think the thing that I remembered doing was that you told me loads about it and I decided to make sure I got it all set up during the pandemic. So I got it all set up on one of our PCs that we took home with us to work from home, and I managed to get it to work. And it was good fun, but it was like, initially I was like, I feel a bit sick because there's just so much movement going on. But I got used to it, but I have never done it since. They need to just bring out a standalone. I tell you what, I did see that might interest you that is in the App Store for Quest is a Grid game.
Oh, Grid in VR?
They've got Grid VR.
How do you play it with a Xbox controller?
I have no idea.
You need a controller.
I just saw it in the store yesterday and I was like, oh my God,
that.
I have no idea. It's in like a lot of the screenshots are in car, so you drive in the car. I don't know how it works. No idea.
Do that.
Xbox Connect.
Did I tell you I used to work at Codemasters?
Making racing games or just making the trailers?
Trailers.
Okay, so let's move away from the XR news. We haven't got any more to talk about right now, but we are going to just briefly go over our sort of standard stuff, which is talking about any scans done, any sales done, any cool river news and social hits. So yeah, scans and sales update.
I can talk about that. I'm on my Sketchfab account. We probably should go through this. My total revenue is $805. I've sold 95 items, but only one sale this month. And I can never post these. Usually, I would do a video every time I do a sale, but I can't post this one on TikTok because it gets banned every time I put a video. So this is a female casualty that I shot on a Canon 5D, took about 70 photos. She's not really dead. She's got makeup on, showing the wounds on her leg. This was for a car crash that we did with Paul Spate, Leicestershire Fire and Rescue Service. But this one sells I think I've probably sold 10 of this.
She had to stay very still.
Yeah, she was really still.
So she's on like a green, like Hessian kind of...
Yeah, like a rug. It was done with
material.
a 5D.
She's got a bit of an injury on her knee or her shin. And she's got a very bloody face.
I found the images, about 70 images. I found it like a year ago on one of my hard drives, and then uploaded to Polycam, uploaded to Sketchfab, and then it sells nicely. But that's literally the only sale, so it's a little bit rubbish. Have you had any sales?
What's your total sales for that amount?
$805.
For how many sales?
95.
Oh, see, I've made $478.43.
So that's half. Oh, how many models?
44.
So it's half.
Yeah. So we're kind of on track, but just you got more models available, and so double the opportunity.
Yeah,
but yeah,
photogrammetry does equal money, and that's where we're at.
Last sales I did were 26th, 27th and 29th of September. So not much in October, been a bit slow, but overall I have been uploading new models. So on mine at the moment, I stole one of Alex's just for a bit of fun, put that for sale, cheaper than him. And then then I changed it to Kenilworth Medieval Ruins, but it's actually the Kenilworth Abbey, which we've seen before. I scanned a colourful fox at a shopping centre, which is nice.
That one looked good.
A new trainer, which is cool. That one's for sale. I scanned an F4 car, a Formula 4 car, but it's not very good. So I haven't put that for sale, but it is on there. And then lastly, yesterday when we were in Northampton, me and Alex both scanned some wooden statues.
Yeah.
And I've got one that's like a sort of a horse sort of jumping with a knight on its back and some sort of, I don't know if it's a flag or a joust or something. I don't know. But yeah, knight on a horse, I called it. Really original.
Yours, they were good, but this one was mine. This was the wooden knight. There's a little bit of melted cheese around his shoulders. I could have done a little bit better there. Yeah. But yeah, that was really fancy where they carved it solidly out of that piece of wood. I thought that was quite cool.
And
while I was there...
you do yours and then go on mine.
While I was there, I also did this pumpkin thing because I know for a fact that pumpkins go down well at this time of year.
This was plant porn, wasn't it?
Yeah, the bloke in the shop was looking at me very strangely as I was stood outside here taking 300 photos, maybe not 300, taking 150 photos of his pumpkins. His pumpkins were for sale. Well, now they're for sale on the internet for $17.
Blimey. Pricey they are. Jesus.
Pricey
they'd be at least $10. Yeah.
Change it. Let's change the price right now, live.
Live price change.
What
Get
price
a sale price. Created by Polycam, not by Alex.
12.
Says it in the description.
Created by Polycam. Yeah, it is. It should be created using Polycam.
Yeah.
Okay, change the price.
It's
$12.
basically taking the credit for you. Because you're the one that actually made it. They just stitched it together. It's shocking.
This one looks good.
Yeah.
This is another Tyrone model. $25 he's selling this for.
Yeah, man. The only other option is an offline Roscoe.
Oh my God, look at that melted cheese on the roof.
No, that's trees.
Oh, okay. Not melted cheese.
No, I can't. You may be better off knowing how to get rid of those trees. I don't know how to get rid of them within Polycam.
Oh, Polycam, please give us a little brush that we can do like cropping out rather than a box or a cylinder.
I need to send it to your man to fix the holes and get rid of those floaty trees.
Send it to Special Marty.
Yeah.
Let's get Polycam to do some new tools, or Sketchfab can release it. I don't mind.
Yeah, we need to speak to Polycam. Polycam, we need to speak to you.
Or Alban.
I saw that Polycam had given the Corridor Crew guys some merch. So I think
you stole my medieval gate.
I told you I went on the rob, so you went on the rob.
What the hell?
Nice.
This one's actually 3D printed in my house, and Ty stole it and put it on his channel, and it's for sale for $13. I bet you've gone less than my price as well. Probably. He's having his payback for arbitrage.
It's the feeling of undercutting.
Okay.
So sales a bit dormant, not that great, but TikTok.
Oh, TikTok. I need to bring it up on my phone to remind me because it's a constant TikTok thing. Obviously, the main three on my channel are 12 million, 8 million, 8 million. They're like old school things. But there's nothing that's gone major crazy. I'm just going to go to the analytics and read out the top 6 because that's always a good way to do it. So TikTok's a little bit more of a place where I show a little bit more funky stuff that's not really river related that often. One that went a little bit viral recently was me having a curry and then having a crumble, but putting the crumble onto the plate that the curry was on. 50,000 views, as you do.
Weirdo.
And I just thought it's all going in the same hole, so it didn't really matter. But yeah, I wind up people quite a lot on TikTok. It's basically, you can never believe anything that you see on TikTok. This was a little video that I did with Ty, where we were at Apple Park, and in the Tesla factory, they gave us a little plastic hat that goes inside your cap. And I put that on as a little 6-second video. It's done 50,000 views with loads of comments. People trying to tell me that it's called a bump cap. I was like, thank you. Keep the comments coming. The algorithm needs your comments. That was the latest one on TikTok. And you can go and follow it if you want, Alex Tench. Daily. 84,000 followers on there. It's a good one.
Nice.
And on my drafts folder, oh my God, my drafts is full. So whenever I get bored, I go to my drafts and I just do a little quick edit.
Blimey. Yeah, I would probably turn around and say from a personal standpoint, the best video that I've done recently is that last weekend was my one of my children's birthdays, and I went to a disused RAF base up north in the UK near Skegness. We stayed in it's like a military helicopter and a Airstream plane.
The video looked cool.
It was pretty cool, and it is on there. It's pretty amazing. But we went to the local sort of place, Skegness, had a little look around. It's just a British seaside town, and I just filmed a fish and chip shop, and it did 60k views, which was a bit weird. I did a bit of a funky speech to text voiceover, sort of like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Is that the secret one?
Yeah, no, that's the other one. Go see that. That's quite funny. That was my biggest hitter, and everything else just been a bit lame, really. But River had a monster, didn't it, from ESS?
Yeah.
Bigger than anything me and Alex have had for quite some time. I don't remember anything doing 500,000. It's done 500,000 views.
Yeah, well, it's nearly 578,000 views now. The FBI training video, where we went and saw a guy who had it. This mannequin was hung up, and she shot it or pressed it with his finger, and the dummy just dropped to the floor. It's supposed to show real life body physics.
We spoke about it on a previous podcast. Do you remember? Because I was like saying the comments were like, "Why is this dummy black?" I said it has no face or eyes. It doesn't matter what colour the head is. But
there's not loads of comments. 84 comments.
But the fact that it's done some crazy numbers in terms of views just shows how wild west TikTok really is.
And I think it's quite short though as well. So it could just be the length. I know some of your videos are very long. I sometimes have to get my pillow out.
Yeah, but then they're encouraging doing 10-minute plus videos these days for creators. So the reality is that you can mix up a bit more. Like I did one of the Vicar yesterday in the VR headset. Alex stole it, made it shorter, and it did no views. So I think that there is like a balance. I think you need to definitely make things over 10 seconds, but still make it quick. Let's move on to basically some River talk. Let's talk about what's been going on in River World. We've got new kits being made as we speak in terms of our virtual reality multi-user classroom in a box kits. We've got some nice banners and info behind on Alex these days. We've changed it up in the podcast studio.
Yeah, because I know that we can use this bit as a nice little promo video.
Well, yeah, of course. And we were initially making 6 and 12 kits, all with Pico G3s in them, and then we had an 8 kit, which was going to be is our kind of 6-DOF kit for doing interactive VR as well as Riverlink, all using Pico Neo 3s at the moment. But we are now going to make some 3 kits, which are quite interesting for use for quick demos, smaller kits, easy and portable.
I call them, the 3 kit. The Riverlink 3 kit is going to be more for sales and to show people what products are like. That doesn't have to be for training. No. It could be people like, for example, camera manufacturers or scanning companies that might want to show off their scanners or cameras being used in exotic places. Well, we're going to allow them, using the Link kit and a capture kit, they can now go and film their products being used, put them on a 3 kit and take that 3 kit to demos. But 2 clients that are now new and have just started using Riverlink, and we've got to say it every time, but the Riverlink kit allows synchronized playback inside virtual reality headsets up to 6, 12. We can have 24 people inside if we want as well. But this one on the screen now, but City of London Police. So the City of London Police have got is this an old 15 kit?
Yeah.
This is 15 kit, and they've got a capture kit as well. So the 360 camera, is that an Insta?
That's an Insta X3.
Insta X3, and how many memory cards do we put in that so they can continuously film whatever they like?
A good few, enough that they can just not have to worry for plenty of time shooting.
So they can go out, shoot their procedures and training, and if they want to, they can shoot anything on the streets with the 360 camera, come back to the station, load it onto the Link kit, and then show 15 people all in the headset at the same time. The same thing. That's one client, but we saw this post online. This was Holton School, and they said that they were delighted to have Warwickshire Police come over to their school and show the children some police videos around county lines awareness. So lovely Link kit there. And here's some of the officers. There's another link kit. That looks like an older one. So they've got 2 link kits.
So that shows you how long they've been invested in using Riverlink as a product, and it's being used still. And, you know, considering that's probably, what was that? Would we class that as like our 2nd generation link kit? Really?
Yeah, the white headsets.
Yeah, because before it, we had the previous Picos, then we went to them. So it's like 2nd gen link kit. We're now on our 4th gen link kit, I think now.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, you can see there the router in the box. So when they turn up to this school, there is no need to connect to the Wi-Fi at the school. The Wi-Fi is in the box, and the headset's linked to that, and the laptop links to that. It just plays seamless. So I'd love to chat. We could get these people in and have them come and talk about how they use the link kit in future episodes. But there's children using some Riverlink kits. Then we can move on to the fire service. Okay, so here we can see Buckinghamshire Fire and Rescue Service are using Riverlink, and this was Oliver Stewart did a nice little post online showing the guys doing some VR training. There's the link kit. So for every box, we put their logo in the lid. So when they open it, obviously it looks like their VR training kit. This looks like the 2nd gen box as well, and this is another 15 kit. But I think Ollie put in his post that it's really good to see how Oxfordshire Fire and Rescue are sharing their kits and their VR creation kits with Buckinghamshire at the same time. So they're all sort of using the kits to capture content, and that leads a little bit into the fact that Link Library is available now. So our clients can upload their content to the Link Library, then other people that are in the Link family can download that content and put it onto their Link kits, as long as it's shareable content.
Yeah, and it gives people who want to showcase what they've been doing with their capture kits the opportunity to do that. So, you know, if it's something that's really, really relevant across the UK that's going to help with, you know, saving lives or at least preventative stuff for putting, you know, firefighters in danger, then, you know, why wouldn't you want to share it? I know that there are going to be organisations that need to keep their stuff quiet if it's military or something like that, and they're doing training related stuff, then that's fair enough. But I think when it comes to, you know, police and fire, there are the opportunities there to be able to sort of go, look what we're doing, and hopefully it will grow Link throughout more and more of these areas in the country. You know, there's plenty of opportunities, and, you know, London is one of the biggest.
Fire service again, but this was London Fire Brigade using Riverlink. This was the control centre we went down to at Merton. So we're working with Babcock and London Fire Brigade. Here you've got 3 link kits. The one on the left was the Babcock kit. Then you got 2 more that were our kits from the day.
So
that's actually the new kit.
Gen 4 kit, yeah.
So, yeah, the kit on the right has got 8 headsets in, and the one in the middle has got 12. So they bolted them on. They had a nice 20 demo. And, yeah, there's everyone inside VR. It was amazing to just sit there, and we put on a knife crime video and showed the knife crime video that you made.
Yeah.
And those sort of things, I think if they're doing community outreach in these fire stations and police stations, those videos should be shareable on the Link Library, probably, if they've been funded by their pots of money that are community fund pots.
That's their, I suppose, their preference. Or it depends whether it's acceptable to utilise, like this being gold standard level, like NOGS training, high-rise training. Now, this is going to help countrywide, and hopefully from that standpoint, it's beneficial for everyone. But say, for instance, a current project that I'm working on and Nikita's working on is one for Transport for Manchester. It's quite Manchester orientated. It doesn't necessarily mean that it couldn't transition to other cities, maybe if they have got some antisocial behaviour. But it's definitely orientated around Manchester specifically. But, you know, why not? If it makes a difference, why not share it?
Yeah, so. After the Grenfell fire, there was a national occupational guidance that was brought out by the NFCC that would give everyone a basic standard training for what they should do with high-rise fires. And Leicestershire Fire and Rescue Service took that on board and made a video about it. I think LFB are doing the same thing. But once you've done that really good video once that's based on the NOGS with a good trainer, good VO and good visual effects, you can then just have a consistent piece of content that can go through everyone in the fire service. Keep building that content up and you're going to have an amazing library of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Just as a real quick overview as well, if you've not listened to the podcast before, or you've not watched the podcast before, or you don't know a lot about River and this is like a new thing to you, but basically if you're into VR, XR, and you've ever used a headset, you understand that it's very challenging to be able to see what someone else is doing in that headset. So if you've got, even if you're in an institution that uses VR already, you've got a Quest 2 or something like that, you know, the casting is a little bit clunky. It's not the best. And obviously, if you're trying to do more than one person at the same time doing something in VR, this is why we made this product. Link is there for you to show more people that content at the same time, and it not have to be them that has to deal with the controls. It's a trainer-led product. It gives the trainer the opportunity to monitor everyone on a laptop.
And you can draw on the screen.
You can do, you know, so much guidance without the need for that trainer to be in a headset, and they can control the system and then just wheel it away. So that's Riverlink in a nutshell, and this is what is being distributed to a lot of these different organisations around the country.
You say country, but this morning I had another inquiry from Australia.
Yeah.
So I sent that over to the sales team in River, and they're already chatting on email to those guys. I mean, it is literally being used all over the world. And I say to everyone, it's basically their stage 1 virtual reality, because we've got these headsets that you can do lots of mixed reality and photorealistic stuff, but not everyone needs to have that. They just need the ability to go out and shoot 360 video with a camera, not like this, but similar. Handheld camera, put it on a tripod, film some 360 content, and they can just have their people in their language, in their outfits. I was going to say costumes, in their outfits.
It's nearly Halloween. It is nearly Halloween, you know. But you know, we talk about worldwide, global. It is a global product. It's going out to places in, you know, the UAE, Australia, and you know, just recently, you know, speaking to our friends at Tesla, they're going to do some major demos to Cal Fire, so California Fire, which is going to be amazing. And then I'm going back out to the States, as we mentioned earlier on, with Ollie, who we've had on the podcast when we were in Vegas earlier on in the year at CES. And we're going to do some demos at Augmented Enterprise Summit in Houston, Texas next week, which is crazy. I can't believe that's come around already. And then straight after that, we'll be in New York, in Manhattan, to do an event with Pico, which would be amazing, giving us an opportunity to showcase to some really kind of valuable people to Pico what we do with their hardware, with Riverlink specifically, but also we have some other products as well that we may be able to demo too. And if you are in those areas, those regions, more than welcome to drop me a message. More than happy to catch up with a coffee or show a demo, whatever it may be. We'll do our absolute best to try and connect.
You've got some serious air miles coming up then for you.
Yeah, long trip, well over 2 weeks, and we're going to make the most of it, absolutely.
Can you just tell us quickly one more link bit? You were shooting something with Leicestershire Fire and Rescue. It's on the screen now.
Yes, this was very much kind of a council-related kind of capture, and I suppose in some ways, without kind of elaborating too much on it, because I don't really know the ins and outs of this really from the standpoint of what we can say. But you imagine in the future the ability to be able to sort of bring 360 video into, say, a courtroom as an example, or a large community debate or something like that, which entails people want to be there, but they may not need to voice their opinion. They want to feel like they're there as opposed to watching it on some sort of live stream, or they want to watch it back. You know, they want to go back over it. This is a way of doing it, capturing it in 360. We got a couple of viewpoints, and then we're going to pick the highlights of this particular session. There was people from Leicester Fire Service. There were other people from different agencies, all chairing a congregation to talk about things, and they can sort of watch it on a link kit as an example.
Cool. That's
awesome.
Riverlink.
Awesome. Yeah. And I think that's almost the end of the podcast, if I'm brutally honest. So.
I might go and finish off watching that Zuckerberg thing. I haven't seen the rest of that Mark and Max interview.
And Alex is going straight down to Argos. Currys.
Straight down to Argos to buy one of these because I want to play a little bit of Puzzling Places inside it.
I might get a cheaper one from Best Buy when I'm in America. Who knows? Right.
Amazing. Episode 13 done.
See you later.
Bye bye.
It's the Rapid Capture Podcast.